All right, so I know you as Big J. I know you as a barbecue man, and that's almost as well. I know that you're from the city of Bloomington, so that's kind of what I got a frame of you as Big J. You're this barbecue guy. Love the city of Bloomington, but let's hear it a little bit from you. Tell us your name. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in your business.
Yeah, my name's Jason Hernandez. I'm the owner of Big J SoCal Barbecue. From Bloomington, I grew up there in Bloomington. Went to elementary school. Went to junior high, high school there. That's why I got these on. I showed you. We got some rings. We
Nice. Let
won
me
some
take a look.
championship.
These are for football?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
hell
we
yeah.
did 3 years. I didn't wear the other one because I didn't want to just too much. I just want a couple
Should have wore the
rings.
third one.
So we do the champ. We're champs, and I bring that love from Bloomington as the ambassador. That's what I want to do.
Nice.
I want to be here and show Bloomington that, hey, where do we go after the games for the Kessler Park or whatever community activities? Where do we go after the big Friday night's game? And I want to be like one of those guys to say, hey, let's create businesses. So Big J's is what we do. We do barbecue, we do catering, and it's just 2026, so we're just getting started.
Nice. I definitely can relate to your Bloomington pride. I'm a Fontana guy. I know this is the Bloomington Chamber of Commerce, but you have the B tatted on your arm for Bloomington. I have the Fontana fountain too. Um, so that's awesome. So you're a barbecue guy. You mentioned you do catering. Where do you operate right now with your barbecue? I think I seen on Instagram you have, it's not a truck, it's a bus, right? You have a
Hmm.
bus.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the bus. Like how did the bus come about and how do you kind of operate out of the bus?
I didn't want the bus.
Oh,
The bus wanted me, I guess. My one of the local business guys right there, go to Mr. Ramirez, the automotive shop. He was like, Jason, I'm sorry, this is accent. Jason, mijo, this is for you. Okay, I had this bus. We put a new engine. It's for you. And what's cool is I go there. They're like, "Hey, Jason." They already know me. So, and I was like, "No, I don't want to. I mean, God forbid if I can't make a payment for you. I respect him so much, because he's one of those guys. You go to his spot, he's right there on Cedar and 9th Street, and he'd be like, "Hey, just take the car because I think it
mhm,
was this thing that was wrong or this thing, but I did this. So this is what I think it is.
mhm,
But if it is, we're good. Just come back and pay me." I'm like, "What do you mean, just come back and pay me?" So he
right.
was like, "This bus is for you." And the idea is, I seen that bus. He showed me the inside. All the seats are gone. And my thing is, hey, we can do a wrap on here.
Mm,
Everything's about what the logo is. So we're
okay.
gonna make sure to put that branding on there. And so I got the idea of kind of doing that. We got some big sponsors. I asked for some sponsors. So we got Altura, the credit union.
Nice.
They came over and helped us out. They're awesome. They have given me so much love. Shout out to them, Altura. Also, Inland Valley Meats. I
Mm,
asked them over in Colton. Tom, he's cool. And we go over there and hey man, I need this, and this. And he's like,
mhm,
all right, I got you. I need briskets, I need ribs, I need tri-tip, I need a box of
hell
pork
yeah.
butts. And he's like, okay, cool, here it is. And I was like, all right. So that's kind of what we're doing with the bus. We're about to get it wrapped pretty soon. Like we're in the
Okay.
final little, they send it back and forth,
Right, right.
and we're about to get it wrapped.
Okay. Do you have a certain spot that you set up the bus, like certain days of the week or?
We're finding that out. So we're out of a commercial kitchen. So I got my license in for my catering at the cooking block in Redlands.
Okay.
So basically that's like a micro commercial kitchen where a bunch of people could sign up. You get hours of the day and whatever you
Hmm,
could cook in there. So that we're all county compliant. Because basically what I do is on-site catering, and we big grill, the big Santa Maria grill, the big Texas
mhm,
290-gallon smoker. And what we do is we bring that on site for catering. So that's the main thing we do. But now with the bus, we want to be open every day.
mhm.
We're doing deliveries. We're across from the Cedar House in Santa Ana and Cedar,
Okay.
and we have our bus set up, and we're serving food out of there. And oh man, we started just going quick. I mean, hey, 22 sandwiches now. Send it
Mm,
over here, so we'll do the delivery.
okay.
So we don't Uber. We don't want to pay them, so
Right.
we want we want to make sure that we'll deliver to you. So like, hey, will you deliver it over here? And my thing is, what time do you want it?
Mm,
You got your lunch at a certain time, right?
mhm.
So let's do it at that time. I'll bring it over because I used to work for the city, so I know I got this set time,
Yeah,
union
yeah,
break
yeah.
at this moment. So I was like, all right, if you guys could bring it over, let me know and we'll do that. So we do deliveries and everybody just walks up and they were like, we had a contest for the kids and it was pretty cool. It's like coloring contest for $1 tacos.
Yeah, that's still going on?
We're extending it. So it did end this, but we did the coloring contest. But you tell you what, no one put their numbers on the back,
Oh,
and
shoot.
they just colored it and handed it to me for the thing. So I'm like, all right, we're extending it, and I'm gonna pick one of those out for a winner. But since we have the kite day, we're going on at Kessler Park on the 7th. I'm gonna go over there, pass those coloring contests out to extend it, and everybody gets dollar tacos.
Nice.
We got brisket asada, pastor, pulled pork.
Mm.
So we're doing Mexican American,
Yeah, it sounds good.
bringing the California barbecue competition stuff. What we do in that style.
It's pretty cool. And if you didn't know about the coloring contest, you can find that type of information about Big J's on his Instagram. So make sure to follow that. That'll be linked down below. Make sure to follow him on Instagram for any updates, where to find his truck, how to order his catering, and stuff like that. This is kind of like an obvious question, but why Bloomington to start your business?
They say grow. What's there's a saying? Grow where God plants you,
Mm,
right?
okay, yeah.
So I have much love for Riverside, and I work for them. But Bloomington's my home. My kids go there. My
Mhm.
kids go to Zimmerman, go to Bloomington High School right now.
Yeah.
I got a 4-year-old. What's up, Lily? How you doing? I said your name on TV, and I got
Nice.
little Jason. I'm gonna embarrass you, whatever. He's a sophomore over there. He's a little stud over there,
Hey.
and he's playing football next year and doing all like that, making us proud. So this is my home.
Mhm.
I think I went to like 7 different elementary schools.
Yeah.
So finally, when I hit Bloomington, I'm like, this is it. I'm here. I
Mhm.
love this town, and I want to see the small businesses kind of develop here.
Mhm.
Because if you look around Bloomington, there's something in the air, man. I don't know what it is. These little taqueros and all these other guys, they call me primos. They're my cousins.
Right, right.
They're the essence of the beautiful part of small business.
Mhm.
Where that guy on the side of the road selling his, I don't know, a thing of olives,
Yeah.
right? You ever heard of someone selling olives? Have you heard of anybody selling olives? Alien beef jerky. We heard of him now. That's how we started, right? So what can we do? We have all those people there.
Mhm.
And at one time we had like a 2-row thing in a dirt lot
Yeah, I
to
remember
where
seeing that.
everybody came. And
Mhm.
it was funny. They had a pink restroom, a portable, and a blue restroom. They had a hand washing station. I would go there and I'd get like the churro spot for dessert and
Yeah.
tacos. And then my wife getting pupusas and everybody eat a little bit different. And that was beautiful.
Mhm.
And it kind of got ripped away when the pilot came in. I understand. It's awesome. Beautiful gas station. We got, I loved how they put Bloomington Jack in the Box on
Yeah,
there and stuff
yeah.
like that. So, hey, on this side of the bridge, we got a fast food place. So I was like, all right,
Mhm.
2 of them. So, but then all the guys were like, where do we go?
Right.
They all had to disband. And you see us all scattered around Bloomington. We're on Valley, we're on Cedar, we're on Santa Ana. And people stop and they want the food.
Mhm.
There's the chicken guy. He does his thing. The lady, Giselle, I was making good friends with her lately, and she does like little desserts.
Mm.
And I'm telling her, you need some coffee because I love the iced coffee.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
what I was like is like, hey, can you just whatever you got, put a little iced coffee for me? And she's like, everybody's telling me that. I'm like, I
Mm.
don't know. I want to come with the iced coffee. But she does these beautiful desserts. Another lady, she's doing her tacos. The other guy, he's doing like the cabeza and the
Mhm.
cheeks and all this different stuff in his tacos. And I'm like, man, this is cool. I love this, and you get to talk to the guy, and he's over there, and he's doing like his Instagram. Hey, I'm doing this thing, because we're got to promote our little business.
Right. Jack in the Box is great. The pilot is great being there. I'm kind of more on the side of the vendors. I mean, I'd much rather go to a vendor taco stand than go to Jack in the Box. I mean, big corporate has kind of been on the talks in regards to Bloomington coming in with warehouses and forcing
Hmm.
people out, even just doing something like that. The Jack in the Box, because I remember where those vendors used to be, and it's the Jack in the Box
Hmm.
is right, where that
That
row
location,
was.
Cedar, Santa Ana.
So I'm sure displace some of these vendors and stuff like that. Do you see any opportunities, or do you see any like space for these vendors to grow rather than these huge corporations, or do you think that Bloomington is just destined to get filled up with this corporate money and sort of just be a corporate hub for warehouses and
Hmm.
trucks and stuff like that? What are your thoughts on that on the corporate side and the actual people of Bloomington?
The corporate side is I came from Bassett over there by El Monte and La Puente,
Mm.
and that became city of industry. And they took all the houses there where we did have people. Grandma had goats, grandma had
Yeah.
chickens, and all that stuff right behind Avocado Park. Hey, shout out to those guys. What's up? And then but then they all came in with warehouses. Boom, gone.
Hmm.
Now we're seeing that in Bloomington. Like, all right, but they're empty.
Yeah.
So my house, okay, and disrupted. And I guess we're getting annexed from Rialto. We're getting annexed from Fontana, and it's like our Bloomington's just about to go away.
Yeah.
What is it going to become? What can Bloomington? We've always wanted to become a city, but we always felt like the redheaded stepchild to Fontana and
Hmm.
Rialto. We get the last of the county's money.
Hmm.
So what I see is what can we do on the corporate side is what if we took, because we got the Bel Air swap meet, what if we took something like that and put it in a market inside one of those warehouses?
Right.
You already got it here. You got the parking. You got everything here. This one's just sitting here because Amazon said, you know what? It's not big enough, so we got to build another one over
Mm.
here. And we're like, what? This is crazy.
Right.
This
Right.
one ain't big enough. They abandoned it and then they went somewhere else.
Hmm.
Oh, what happened? It just wasn't big enough for what we wanted. Bloomington is a little small. We want a bigger. They went farther down
Yeah.
the road to Fontana, and I was like, okay, what if we did that? What if we can get the organizations that are around here and incorporate them?
Hmm.
What local things are there? There used to be the Bloomington's Lion Club, and other things like that. So the future is what can we do to help those people to where they have, I want to make sure they're safe. They know their food, temps, all that stuff that we all got
Right.
to know, right? We got to have
Right.
our
Right.
food handlers like that. But like, I don't want to see no one taking their stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to see no one saying that or bad mouthing them. One time I think like a council member said, hey, in my experience, something had dog meat,
Hmm.
and I'm like, wait a minute, whoa, whoa, whoa. When was this? And then the lady kind of stand up and I loved it. She was like, oh, my years, 20 years ago, at one time, there was a case and something that was like,
Right.
well, I understand you're saying that, but why are you bringing that up in this conversation
Hmm.
to put that in someone's mind? I mean, this is what I do is like all the essence of the barbecue competition that I'm trying to show to everybody now.
Hmm.
We got the tri-tip sandwich, brisket, barbecue chicken. We even do a pastrami sandwich and all those things. We're trying to show what we do. And I think it's a new thing because they're like, hey, we don't have this kind of food right here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, so this is where I'm at in Bloomington. This is where I want to grow. And then we'll see what's going to happen next.
You've always had Bloomington pride. Now you have kids. I've always had Fontana pride, and just having kids and now them happen to grow up in the city and go to school here, I think my Fontana pride, and not only my Fontana pride, but my appreciation for the city and my expectations of the city have grown. Do you feel the same for Bloomington now that you have kids? Do you want more out of the city than you've ever wanted? That way, that they have something to experience.
Yes. So with that, like I was coached for 7 years. And when I showed up to like the baseball park, there was no coaches.
Hmm.
So something like that always kind of happens around Bloomington. What activities? We don't have the YMCA, the boys club. We don't have those kind of things. So in Bloomington, it's kind of we got to take care of our own. It's like, hey, where are you from? The number streets? I'm like, yeah. It's
What does
like
that mean? The number streets.
it's a tougher spot, I guess.
Oh,
It was
okay,
more
okay.
people ran around and did whatever.
Mm,
And they're like, for me, it's just I don't know any better. I live there. They're like, hey, is it crazy there? Is there gunshot? I was like, pretty quiet where I'm at. I mean,
yeah,
I
yeah,
live
yeah.
right there in Cedar and 10th down the
Hmm.
street, and it's like, no, I'm all right. Nothing's wrong. And so the stigma about Bloomington I want to overcome that. I want to
Hmm.
make sure that when they're driving by on the freeway, hey, let's stop right here and check this out.
Hmm.
What can we do to put Bloomington on the map?
Nice. Well, this is the Bloomington Chamber of Commerce's podcast, and Big J is one of our newest chamber members. So, what kind of led you into that decision, or what sold you on, or what were your expectations of becoming a Bloomington Chamber member?
I wanted to get involved in the community. I
Mm.
wanted to say, we're going to the Bloomington MAC meetings. I
Mhm.
was a coach and a manager for years, so I always got to hear what people were thinking, other voices were around, what the Bloomington kind of mentality is.
Mhm.
There is kind of a Bloomington mentality. Half of us don't want to cross the bridge. That's kind of one of
Mhm.
the jokes is like, hey, I don't want to go over the bridge right now to Baker's, you know. And that
Yeah,
was
it's
one of the
tough.
things, you know, that's one of the things that I want to help solve around here is hopefully the
Mhm.
bridge is coming in. And also me being from Bloomington, having the championships, having this past from here, I want to make sure I could keep that going. And if I could help put Bloomington on the map to say, where is that? Was that one exit on the 10 freeway as you're going, you know, and you can see it there. That's what we had. And they're like, okay, isn't that where you have a bunch of chickens and stuff? Like, yep, I got chickens. Yeah, but that's all right, you know. But I could see that the one thing that's in this town, and I could drive up and down number streets, also in different places. The north side of the freeway also is the entrepreneurship spirit.
Mm.
These people are out there hustling right now.
Yeah.
They're out there in the wind, in the elements, trying to give they're just some food for their family, making some
Right.
money, and I love it because I don't know if it's $20 a day or $200 a day I'm gonna make.
Yeah.
Yesterday it was $20 a day we made.
Mm.
We were out there all day. We didn't have that much sales, but we were ready to sell.
Right.
We're out there with the spirit. That's not going to dampen our things. We're out there doing our little TikToks and whatever, and all like
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
right? So we're trying to keep it moving, you know. And if we could help those next guys out around Bloomington, then I want to be that because if you own a shop, I get it. Power and respect to you. But then also, if this guy is just a little guy trying to come up,
Mhm.
can we help him out? You know, me, I'm a product of the Small Business Development Center.
Mm.
So it's free. You get a counselor to help you. Can I give him that information for free? And they could help start doing their stuff and, you know, and what they want to do and their dreams help them come up. That's the idea. That's what I want to do. That's the baseline.
Yeah, I definitely could picture you being that type of person because I do know about these vendors in, mostly vendors in Bloomington. Could you picture yourself being that sort of like fearless leader? Like, hey, this is what we need to do, guys. We can all band together. Let's get our permits right. Let's make sure that everything's legit. Let's let people know that we're here on this day. Do you kind of picture yourself being that like driving force to help not only your business but the businesses around you in Bloomington grow?
For myself, not at all.
Mm.
The idea is I want my workers to go out there who speak Spanish and talk to them and become friends.
Mm.
That's the idea. You know, I don't want to do this business like, hey, we're competitive.
Right.
Let's be collaborative,
Mhm.
right? We're on the thing right now doing a podcast, we're collaborating.
Right.
This is the essence of where the business is going. And if we teach them that, I think it's kind of hard knock sometimes because people go over there on the hey, this is what we're doing, boop,
Mm.
boop, boop, boop. And I'm gonna be like, excuse me, I'm a business owner. I don't want to be told nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm here to run my business the way I want to do it. I got freedom as an American. Let me live and let me, you know, let me survive.
Yeah.
And so if we could help those people get that idea, just like I can't tell them what to do,
Right.
but we could be friends.
Mhm.
So an ambassador, what is an ambassador? You go over there. I want to go. I notice dust is a problem. I
Mhm.
want to go out and pass out, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I want to go give them tarps. So they could all put down tarps on the bottom and have their easy ups on that. That way, if a kid's messing around and the dust cut, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
How can we help them? And I think that would be the olive branch of me going out and saying, that's funny because the olive branch in Bloomington.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Is that their thing? Is
huh?
that their logo is olive branch or?
No, the Olive Branch is a different organization
Hmm.
that shout out to them. What's up? I do their like turkeys every year and stuff.
Oh,
They're
okay,
awesome.
nice.
Yeah, so we're involved. They're at Kessler Park, and Angela, she helps everybody out there.
Mm.
She's just awesome of how much she pours into the community. I think every Thursday they're giving away free food and stuff like
Nice.
that. But a little off track there, but yeah,
No, you're good to go.
yeah, yeah.
So you're fairly new to the Bloomington Chamber. Has there been any benefits so far? I think you've been a member for it's been less than a month, right?
Yeah.
Has there been any specific benefits or any things that you've noticed since joining the chamber that could have either helped you or have the potential to help you in your business and your goals?
Right away, I've noticed that it feels like there's this community that says, "Hey, let's come together." So there's a need,
Mm.
you know, to say, "Hey, let's join this chamber of commerce. Let's get together. Let's have a voice."
Yeah.
of what we would like to do as business owners. I mean, we're not trying to take over the world. I just want to pay my bills.
Right.
I want to take my kid to McDonald's.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I'm not rich. I'm from Bloomington. I got a house here. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I'm not the millionaire on top of the hill. I'm just a regular guy that wants to help the other regular guys.
Yeah.
That's a new slogan. It's called collaboration over competition. That's
Yeah,
kinda-
there it is.
I'm gonna credit Jay to that. That's the first time that I ever heard it was from this Jay over here. He said collaboration over competition, and that stuck with me. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna make merch. So if I happen to make merch, just know if I ever get a profit from
Wait,
it,
didn't I just say it on
it
my own though, and I didn't know about it?
I don't know, man. It's been floating around. I heard it
All reserved, Jason.
3
BJ
months
SoCal
ago.
Barbecue. All right, Steve.
Yeah, yeah. But I guess whoever trademarks it first.
Trademark.
I got it on the press tonight. So still on the topic of the Bloomington Chamber as we sort of come to a close here, what advice would you give to a new business or maybe even some of these vendors that are looking to, receive a little guidance or be part of something, specifically the Bloomington Chamber? What advice would you give somebody that's kind of on the cusp about joining or interested in joining?
We all got that idea of some people start the side hustle. But the idea is how do we take the side hustle and make it the main hustle?
Right. Yeah.
So that's the idea of as a guy, I was working for the city of Riverside, and I was just driving by and I see the IESBDC, and I'm like, well, what do they do? And I looked into it. So then I had the idea of the Chamber of Commerce. Like, what do we do?
Mm.
This is where people that don't know or just barely get into it could say, hey, where's other people I could talk to that are going through something I've only been this in a year or 2 years.
Mhm.
I think that's a little bit of the benefit because I already come to a meeting and I'm like, everybody's talking about, oh, I do this or I do that. Like, man, I could use some of that help. I
Yeah.
could use that help from this person. Someone does the printing with this. I could use that help
Mhm.
doing my own banners or something. So I think it's like that hands helping other hands and shaking other hands and hugging, kind of like that. Hey, let's work together and do that.
Yeah.
I did work with the Chamber of Commerce in Riverside,
Mm.
and I got to see a lot of their events, and they got to help me out. I did the ribbon cutting ceremony, so that was kind of awesome. That was a real cool event, and it was for the SBDC also,
Mm.
and they gave me that chance, that platform to come and show mine, and that's what first opened my eyes because they're a big chamber.
Yeah.
And so with that idea, I went and I was on the Victoria Golf Club. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, this is nice. Can I play here? Like, no, you can just set up over there though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was real cool. And all the other places that I've been at the Cheech Marin Art Museum.
Mhm.
I think like once a month, all last year, I was doing like a little speech and doing food for everybody and set up my buffets. And all that was because of the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
So, I'm not trying to just blow up Riverside. So I know we're here
No,
for
no.
Bloomington. I wanted to take that experience to come over here.
Mhm.
That's the idea. I seen what they were doing, the connections, the mixers, those ideas of who fits in that kind of spot, right? Because it is kind of, hey, how you doing? Hello. Some people say networking, it's boring. I go to this thing and I sit around like this. Yeah, but are you talking to anybody? Are you going over there putting yourself out?
Right.
And I think that's the hardest part is, okay, you even come to the Bloomington Chamber of Commerce and we get a little scared. Like,
Mhm.
no, go talk to them. Go talk to everybody. Go say hi to Angel. Go say hi to Mike. Go say hi to all these different people. Who just came in a little while ago?
Fernie.
Uh,
Oh, Fernando?
Fernando? So I was like, who are these people we're gonna meet? And now how do I want to build those relationships?
Mhm.
So my idea is like, okay, with these people, how could we come in? And then when I actually didn't expect to be asked to become an ambassador.
Hey.
I just wanted to join the chamber.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then they were like doing it. I'm like, heck yeah, I'm from Bloomington. This is
Yeah.
it. But then I was like, wait, a lot of respect, responsibility.
Mhm.
Let's start there and think about that.
Right.
I'm a business owner and I want to come here, but I want to help other people. And one last thing, if I could say this in closing, is my whole thing is your past isn't your future.
Mm.
We all come from a troubled past. Some of us, have been impacted by the system in any which way. I'm one of those people who are helping people that are impacted by the system get jobs,
Mm.
right? Because we might mess up as a kid, 19, 20 years old. I did. But when I was 20 years old, I did 6 months in county jail. I did the ROP program for the culinary arts.
Hey, nice.
unbeknownst to me at that time, I didn't realize it was going to help me later. So maybe God puts you somewhere
Yeah, of
you
course.
needed to be to learn that lesson, right? Now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying be bad, but the idea is if you do mess up, your past isn't your future.
Right.
So that's the main topic I want to come on podcast and say is a little bit about that. Is that we're actually helping people coming back. We have one like all star. I'm not going to say her name,
Mhm.
but she is awesome, and she's getting her account, a bank account, and now she's getting her off probation, conversations with her kids, and like all the stuff. We're helping her get out of the halfway house, and
Nice.
we're helping people.
Right.
So Big J's barbecue just isn't about, hey, let's make some money, sell some barbecue, let's do all this. I think maybe the ego's gone. Now it's like, how
Yeah.
can we help other people? How can we help people, that might be struggling, live in a Momo or something like that can get out?
Mhm.
Because that's real for me and people I know.
Yeah.
But how could I get them to that next level? And I was thinking, man, if I could help them get my payroll, and give them a check for Big J SoCal Barbecue,
Yeah.
that'd be, pretty cool. So I got my payroll all about to go, and about to start my ADP and all that to help those people. And like, I want to help other people pay their bills.
Mhm.
I want to have other people pay for their car notes and their rent. And who actually thinks about that?
Yeah.
Because wouldn't you do that for someone that wasn't help of your own family? So my thing is, all right, everybody's family. We're all from Bloomington right here. Let's do it. And we kind of got that mentality around here. Like, all right.
Yeah. That's awesome. We can actually even go into that a little bit, saying that you're helping somebody that may have had a struggled past. Maybe they've been in the system. Kind of go into what's the process like, or how can somebody benefit from uh, like a program that you offer that you're into. What would something like that look like for somebody coming out, or is there qualifications? I mean, what just in what would that look like for somebody?
So there's different programs. There's Future Firefighters of America
Mm.
that one of our people just graduated from, and she did awesome in that. And there's also ROP programs that people go to. So I did the culinary arts through the regional occupational program of
Mhm.
San Bernardino County, and look how it helped me do big events later on.
Yeah.
So that's the idea. Is I went to her graduation and no family members, no one else. It was just me, and I
Yeah.
kind of tripped out. And there was people from the program there, because it's their program,
Right.
and they're like, "Who are you?" I'm like, I'm her boss, and when she looked at me and she just lit up and smiled, and I just seen how proud she was, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, it's about them,
Hmm.
I think once the ego gets lost and you see about helping other people, it's like,
Right.
that's where it's at.
Well, we can see the passion obviously they have for others. Let's take a moment out of this to be a little bit selfish. How can the community and the people of Bloomington help out you and your business? What kind of things can they do to help you out?
So what I like to do is corporate catering. I want to do the corporate catering around the community. I know there's a lot of places that we would help out there, but we also do like deliveries. We're also going to be a food truck setting up in Bloomington, and we're on Santa Ana and Cedar. We're going there Wednesday through Sundays. We're setting up, and out of there, we're doing deliveries to kind of, we're doing deliveries to San Bernardino. I think there's a community program, SB Lift, and they're like help. People about the new energy and stuff. We did 22 sandwich drop off to them.
Mm.
And so we did a 10 drop off over here. I got some sandwiches for these guys. Yeah. And do my little drop on there. So we're starting. We did great last year. And I think this is the breakout year. That COVID did kind of kill us.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be my breakout year when the COVID hit. And I was like, man. Oh. So now we're kind of coming back from that.
Mhm.
We've learned, we have a team now that came together, and I'm like, man, these people, like, you wish you had people like this to work with you.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody wishes they had that guy with a good personality, the good worth ethic,
Mhm.
and like I can say, like I got like 4 of those,
Awesome.
and so that's like, dude, I want to keep them working.
Yeah.
Like, what can we do? Hey guys, hey, buy a sandwich, man. We got pastrami sandwiches out there, pickles, mustard, half pound of pastrami. But that's the idea is we want to just start with that barbecue love, and just we're helping lives one time at a time, I guess,
Yeah.
one person at a time, and grow where God plants you, and I
Mhm.
think we're going to grow right now. So this is the year, 2026.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a breakout year for a lot of people, not just myself, yourself, but people in the chamber, just
Yeah.
going to the different connect meetings and networking. I mean, that's been my biggest benefit of the chamber is just the networking. I never thought about it before.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that it was a boring word too. And there's a quote from another program that says, "If you don't, it only works if you work it."
Yeah.
And networking is kind of the same thing. It only works if you work it. So you kind of have to put yourself out there, get into that uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
space with people you've never met before, never talked before, because that is the way to help your business grow. So that's kind of our benefits here at the chamber. You mentioned where people can find you physically online. Where can people find you? Instagram, website, stuff like that.
So if you see it right here, Big J SoCal BBQ at gmail.com or .com. So we got the website going up. I need to improve it. It's just one like, I needed to get a website.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it looks pretty cool. And everyone's like, Jason, you know what you're doing? I'm like, nope.
Hmm.
But I got a website.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
And
So
Instagram, Big J's. Is it?
Big J's at Big J's SoCal BBQ.
Yep. And we're gonna link it down below. So check
Yeah.
out his Instagram for that awesome barbecue, and go and buy a plate or order some catering for your next event.
Thanks for getting to know me, man. It's cool.
All right, Jay.